With the launch of Season 6 of Delta Force, a new barrel for the AS Val was released through the armory, and I'll go through that a little bit later, telling you guys how to unlock it, but it fundamentally changes how the AS Val performs in Delta Force, and I wanted to share my build for it with all of you today. Now, the barrel in question is the AS Val Assassin Premium Barrel. Now, it increases the control, increases stability, special damage multiplier, special fall-off range, reduces handling, reduces accuracy, but it actually transforms the AS Val into a burst fire weapon. As we can see here, it shoots 4-round bursts. So we can see here the damage model is now 26 as opposed to the 20 base damage of the AS Val. And we'll go look at the stats a little bit later. For the foregrip, now I tried a few different ones, and if we just look at the control here, you can see it just goes up and to the right. So we're going to try and mitigate some of that, as that is a little bit difficult to control, especially in burst fire mode where you really need your shots to hit. So I went ahead and installed the Secret Order Bevel foregrip. For the magazine, I just opted for the 30 round here because chances are if I missed my first or second burst on a target, I was probably dead anyways, and I didn't want to reduce the handling and control and stability further, so I just chose to go with this one, but you could put whatever you want on this. For the rear grip, now in order to increase the control of the weapon, I chose to go with the Scorpio rear grip, which just gives you a flat out +6 in the control. For the stock, I chose to go with something a little bit different here, the Elite Light stock. Now it gives you extra control, extra handling, and also increases your ADS movement speed. And honestly, you're going to kind of need this because if you miss your first burst, strafing is probably going to be one of the better ways for you to survive a little bit longer to get that second burst out. For the charging candle, literally no downside, just go ahead and install it. For the optic, I always go with the OKP7 on this one just because it fits the overall aesthetic of the weapon. And then finally, for the laser, I went with the green laser on the right hand side to get better hipfire accuracy, and also gives you 50 millisecond or faster ADS speed. For the calibration for the barrel, we're going to go with -50 grams to get even more ADS movement speed and +10 millimeters because unfortunately the bullet velocity or muzzle velocity on this weapon is pretty abysmal, so this helps a lot when you're trying to fire at people that are moving at slightly longer ranges or even medium ranges, because the base muzzle velocity on this weapon is like 480 something. For the foregrip, we're going to go with -20 grams and -20 millimeters to get extra ADS movement speed and extra ADS speed just flat out. For the rear grip, we're going with +50 grams and -20 millimeters to get extra hipfire aim speed, which just increases or makes your ADS speed faster, and extra control. For the stock, we're going to go with +50 grams and -3 slots to get extra ADS speed and +6% control. And finally, for the optics, simply go with -20 millimeters for the reduced eye relief. Now, if we look at the stats of the AS Val with the burst fire, as we can see, we're doing 26 damage to the chest, 26 to the stomach, 20 across the board for the limbs, and 49 damage to the head. If we look at control here, we can see that the base recoil of the AS Val is like that. We corrected it quite a bit. Now the base recoil with this specific barrel is like this. So we did correct it quite a bit, and you're going to see it's a lot easier to control. So you got to think that it's only 4 shots. So 4 shots up, then you reset, 4 shots up. So that's the base recoil pattern for the AS Val with this specific setup. For the handling, so we lost a little bit of ADS speed or handling. We're at 310, take into account the laser on here, which brings it down to a solid 260 milliseconds. Current sprint to fire delay, 242. And then the ADS movement speed is 2.88 meters per second, which is 0.60 faster. For the stability, not a main focus here considering it's a burst fire weapon. And then for the accuracy, we lost a little bit. But honestly, taking fights in CQB with the burst fire weapon AS Val is not ideal because you're going to be outgunned by pretty much all the fully automatic weapons unless you get all 4 shots directly mid-mass or in the stomach. Now, in order to unlock the premium barrel, so you need to go to the armory here, make sure it's the one that you have that you're currently working on. So if we look at the AS Val Assassin Premium Barrel here, you need to complete 3 Attack and Defend King of the Hill matches, score a total of 10,000 points as an assault operator, and kill 20 enemy operators from within 20 meters. And you can't work on all of these at the same time. It's one at a time. And when you finish the challenge or the mission, you need to finish the match in order to be able to start working on the next one. It'd be nice if it was all in the same, that you could just like finish scoring 10,000 points as an assault operator and then immediately go into the kill 20 enemy operators from within 20 meters. But yeah, you're going to need to play a few matches in order to be able to unlock the AS Val Assassin Premium Barrel. And in order to use this specific build on top of the armory unlock, you need to level up the AS Val to level 45. But I would recommend using some, because the 15 round mag for the AS Val is really, really sad and difficult to work with. Now, honestly, I was having a ton of fun using the burst fire AS Val. At first, I was kind of rusty. I hadn't used a burst fire weapon in a while. It's been a long time since I've used the M16A4, and you really have to play around the strengths of the burst fire AS Val. You can't take CQB engagements too much because chances are, if you're too close, the person's going to strafe at the same time. You're going to miss some shots, and then you need to wait for the trigger delay in order to be able to get those next 4 shots out of the barrel, and chances are you're probably going to die. So you kind of have to play it at medium-ish range with the AS Val, at which it's really going to shine, because you're getting 4 shots out so quickly that, you know, chances are the person potentially won't move, especially if they don't know you're there by the time all 4 bullets hit them. And obviously, if you're getting them within that max damage range of 30 meters and you're getting all the bullets in the thorax or the stomach, then that's a 1 burst kill, which is very, very strong. And that's why I put so many points in control, because you want those 4 shots to be able to go on target as consistently as possible. You want to be hitting that mid-mass, otherwise you need to get a second burst out, and if the person is already aware of you, chances are you're probably going to be dead. So you really want to make sure that those shots are connecting as much as possible. But yeah, you really want to play around the strengths of the AS Val with the burst fire mode, but it is an absolute blast. I got some of probably my best games with the AS Val in burst fire mode. It's just an absolute juggernaut of a weapon to take out multiple enemies, especially when they're not aware. And obviously, like, the assassin name on the barrel makes a lot of sense. It's super quiet. If you're using this as Nox on like a CQB map, you can absolutely rain down terror upon your enemies. And yeah, it's just an absolute blast, but you really have to get used to using the burst fire mode on this weapon. And honestly, you're probably going to lose a lot of firefights at first, but if you stick to it, you're going to unlock the full potential of the burst fire AS Val. And really, the biggest thing you're going to have to get used to is properly tracking your targets, because as soon as people start strafing left to right, then those 4 bullets, you have to follow the target at the same rate at which the bullets are coming out to be able to have them connect on the enemy. So that's like the 2 things: is the burst fire you have to work around, and if people are strafing left to right while you're engaging them, it might be a little bit more difficult for those bullets to connect with them. But with all that being said, I'll leave the share code for the weapon build in the description down below, as well as in the top pinned comment. Let me know your thoughts on it if you've had a chance to try it. In any case, I'll leave you with a few highlight clips of me using the specific build. But yeah, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.
Heading to this place. Enemy neutralized.
Where the fuck are you at? Okay, I got you. Watch the bell out.
you.